Hi there guys, so we've got Lumineth Realm Lords today. We'll have a look in the box. We'll also look at White Dwarf 454 so we can have a overview of their warcry stats, which I've had a brief look at, and to be fair, they're looking very tidy indeed. So this is the sort of launch box for the Lumineth. There's not a great deal of content in here in terms of models and that kind of thing. So we've got the Light of Eltharion, which is a weird model. The Venari Alluran High Warden. Venari Auralan Warden. And then we've got some Venari Dawn Riders. So let's have a look. So this came out on Saturday. It's only been out for a few days. It's a fairly thin box. Not massive amount of content. So what we'll do is I'll have a look at the plastic and maybe we'll build a model at the end, just so we can take a look. Right, let's look at all the other content first. So in the bottom of the box, we've got all of our bases, combat gauge, and some dice, which we'll look at in a second. Just ditch that box first. Have a look at the combat gauge, because it's quick and it's quite cool. This is made of plastic. There have been in some of these boxes like cardboard ones or punchboard ones, but there you go. I like that, that's nice. We have got 20 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, 20 dice. Some nice yellowy colour, cool symbol on there. To say these dice feel quite cheap, maybe, and they feel more like dice you get off of Amazon than the normal really good ones you get from GW. But anyway, they look all right anyway. We have got a token board here. It's got objective markers. It's look cool. Range ruler going to 9 inches. Aether quartz or ether quartz markers. They're pretty funky. It's good, nice thick board there as well, so that's nice. We've got the standard Age of Sigmar core rules. We've got our assembly guide. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the mounted dudes. We have got one Light of Eltharion. So the riders are the Venari Dawn Riders. And then these guys are the Venari Auralan Wardens. Which you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Weird to have 9 and not 10, but anyway, so we've got so it looks like that group is made up of so it's 9 wardens and a high warden. Okay, but that's pretty nice. Right, we've got the battle tome. which I don't want to run through greatly. Actually, let's do the battle tome last before we move on to the miniatures. We've got cards. So we've got battle trait cards. Battle traits. One, two, three, four. Four of those. 1, 2, 3. Command traits. 2, 3. 3 artifacts of power. 3 Alarith command traits. So the first one's with a Scenari. 3 Alarith artifacts of power. And then we've got a whole bunch of other cards. Law of Hish, or Hish. 6 of those. Law of the High Peaks. Geometrica command traits. Just one of those. 1 Geometrica artifact of power. A Sire command trait. Sire active artifact of power. Iliatha artifact of power. A Zatrek command trait. Zatrek artifact of power, and Law of Zatrek. So anyway, so lots of cards there, which are very handy. So you can have them out and ready instead of having to refer to your battle tome. So I am probably not keeping most of this. I shall keep some of the models and maybe half of the dice, and that's it, because I only really want this for warcry at the moment. Okay, so let's have a look at the battle tome. It's not massive at all. 96 pages of battle tome. The Realm Lords of the Lumineth call themselves for their mastery. The Realm Lords of the Lumineth call themselves for the mastery over the lands is unrivaled. These luminous beings, these numinous beings are elven scions of the twin gods Tyrion and Teclis. Have scintillating magic in their blood. They have dwelt long in Hish. I don't know if that's Hish or Hish. Let me know in the comments. The realm of light, where enlightenment and skill saturates the very air. The Lumineth have absorbed so much of this innate potential that when at war they glow with lambeth power. To face the war host in battle is to face a barrage of magic. A forest of blades, a crashing assault of elemental wrath. Okay. So we start off with, so this is just standard battle tome fare. So we start off with the lore, Lore, takes us through the age of myth and the rise of entitlement. So all this is history stuff. More of this. So the first sort of 21 pages is all about lore and that kind of thing. Then we move on to the symmetry of war. So just look at all the different types. The Geometrica, Sire, Iliatha and Zatrek. More lore for us. So it's page 32 and we're still on the lore. A little bit about the main guys. So the Light of Eltharion, who we've got in this box. Scenari Cathalas or Cathalas. That's not in this box. And then the Shining Companies of Shaish. Okay, so this is all very, very good stuff. So more stuff's going to be out for this group some point soon. Archmage tech list. So that I know that there's been, I think this looks pretty cool. But I can see a lot of people being annoyed at having to glue that back on. It looks awesome, but I don't know how annoying it's going to be. That is awesome. Avalenor, the Stoneheart King. That is fantastic. Okay, some different colour markings. Steedmaster of Iliatha is a more white and red as opposed to the white and blue of the Venari. But still looking cool. Alarith, Spirit of the Mountain with Stoneheart's World Hammer. So very similar to this guy, but is it the same? It looks like the same pose, but it's not quite the same. I thought it was the same, except he's got either two-handed weapon or one, but it's not, it appears. But yeah, the stuff looks smashing. The Host Immaculates are going through all of those different guys on there. Bit about painting. It's got a few different types. So it's more or less just been lore and images right up until page 55. Then the painting guide. You've got about 8 pages of that. Then we've got a bit about the army. So we start getting more into allegiance abilities here and the real information about how this team is going to play. So all the battle traits and command traits and that kind of thing, which we've luckily got cards for, which is cool. I like these cards. So this is the first box of its type that I've ever purchased. So is this a standard thing in these kind of boxes? Let me know in the comments. Okay. More of this stuff. More detail on the abilities and that kind of thing. The different types there. And eventually we will get to, there's the battle plan stuff. So 2 battle plans in there. A bit about creating a warband and all this good stuff. Right. So now we start getting to the battle plan cards. That's the warband tables and then, sorry, the war scrolls, sorry. So we've got that from page 82 right up to page 96. So 14 pages of war scrolls and that kind of thing. So that's the book. It's yeah, it's pretty good. Fairly brief, I don't mind saying, but it's nice. It's well presented. I like the sort of gold trim on the pages as well, so that's very good. So let's make up a model before we go. Oh no, before we do that, let's look at the warcry stuff. So, a light in the darkness. Imbued with the numinous power of the realm light, the Lumineth journey into the 8 points in search of an ancient artifact that was stolen from them. Will they bring order to the chaos of Archaon's realm, or will they vanish never to be seen again? Okay, so they've got their standard campaign stuff here. Obviously the standard territory rules and that kind of thing. Artifacts of power. So we'll have a quick look at those. So on D3, so 1d3 is once per battle the bearer can use the rush or onslaught ability without using any ability dice. That's cool. On a 2, add 1 to the toughness characteristic of the bearer. And on a 3, Add 2 to the strength characteristic of actions made by the bearer with the range characteristic of 3 or less, so that's good as well. Now, command traits, D3, so on a 1, when an enemy fighter within 1 inch of this fighter attacks this fighter with an attack action, allocate 1 damage point to the fighter for each hit roll of a 1 from the attack action. Okay, and then on a 2 on the D3, add 5 to the wounds characteristic of this fighter, and on a 3, add 1 to the move characteristic of this fighter. I'd much rather the 2 there, with the 5 extra wounds, because as we'll get to in a minute, a lot of these guys aren't particularly wound heavy. Okay, so first convergence, and so deployment is Defiant Stand. The Aspirant Warband uses the blue deployment points, blah, 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 blah. So the victory card is for the ritual. And the Lumineth are going to defend. And the twist is just a normal twist card. Second convergence is deployment type is Blood Rush. The victory card is No Mercy. Twist card is normal. And then the battle plan, the final convergence is deployment as normal. The victory card is the Gauntlet. And the twist is Eager for the fight. So, and then we've got some of their Spores of Victory stuff. Okay, so here's the real interesting stuff. And I've had a look at this side, but not this side. And some of the abilities here are that when you get down here, there's some really, really strong stuff. So I'll take you through these quickly. So one of the double ones, which is open to all of the kind of low point guys. So certainly the non-leaders. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a lot of the high point sort of leader guys. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the non. Okay, so the first double is called Shining Company. A fighter can use this ability if they're 2 or more friendly fighters with the Lumineth Realm Lords faction rune mark, which is all of them obviously. And the Warrior rune mark. So the Warrior rune mark is the low level warrior stuff. There's actually only 3, 4 or 5, 6, 8. Yeah, quite a few of them do have it. Until the end of the battle round, subtract 1 from the attacks characteristics made against the friendly fighters within an inch of this fighter. Another double, which is Mountain Stance, which is available to Stone Guard with Stone Mallet and with Diamond Pick Hammer. I think that's it. Okay, also open to the True Stone Seneschal. I think that's it, yep. Until the end of the battle round, subtract 1 from the damage points allocated by each hit and critical hit from attack actions that target this fighter. Okay, so that's good as well. Next up, we've got Moonfire Flask, which is open to all of the leaders. And the High Warden, which is pick a visible enemy fighter within 6 inches of this guy and roll 2 dice. For each 4 or 5, allocate 1 damage, and for each 6, allocate the number of damage equal to the value of this ability. So that's a good one. Then we've got another double, which is Sharp-Eyed Scryhawk, and that is available again to all of the leaders. Pick an enemy fighter within 20 inches of this fighter until the end of the battle round. Add 1 to the attacks characteristic of attack actions against that fighter. Okay, that's good. Then we've got our first triple, which is the Lances at Dawn, which is available to our mounted guys. So that's Steed Masters and Venari Dawn Riders. I believe that's it, yeah. Until the end of this fighter's activation, the next time this fighter finishes a move action within 1 inch of an enemy fighter, pick 1 visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of this fighter. Allocate a number of damage points to that enemy fighter equal to the value of this ability. So if you use the triple and you finish a move within 1 inch of an enemy fighter, you pick another visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of him, allocate the damage points equal to the ability. Okay, now we start to get to the really tough stuff. So the next triple, which is Emotional Transference, which is again open to the leaders. And that's it. Pick a visible enemy fight, pick one friendly fighter within 12 inches of this guy that has 1 or more damage points allocated to them. Then pick one visible enemy fighter within 12 inches of that fighter. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of damage points allocated to the friendly fighter. For each 4 up, allocate 1 damage point to that enemy fighter. So that could be quite good. So let's have a look. So some of our guys, if we look at the non-leaders, now none of them have got any particularly high health points. They're between 8 and 18, but potentially on an 18 you could be rolling, you know, maybe 15 dice on that ability, so that's really cool. And now this one, I can't get over how powerful this one is, to be honest. It's called Gravitic Redirection. Allocate D3 damage points to all visible enemy fighters within 6 inches of this fighter, and you roll for each. In addition, until the end of the battle round, halve the move characteristics of all fighters that are within 6 inches of this fighter when this fighter uses the ability. So it's D3 damage to every fighter within 6 inches. So you could really get the cat amongst the pigeons and then, you know, use that ability and then, you know, get out of dodge. I mean, it won't get you far since that guy only got 5 move, but, you know, it's a very, very strong ability. So that's cool, I like this. Right, let's take a look and make up one of the models. I think we will make up let's have a look. Right, let's have a look at the High Warden. Okay, so here we have the High Warden. I have to say, it's a very, very cool miniature. Very cool. So again, there's a lot of, maybe a few too many pieces to put together, for the size of the model at least. However, where it has gone together, you can't really notice much in the way of where the joins are and that kind of thing, so you can't really, I'm not even sure you can see any of that. But it's a very, very nice model. So overall, let's have a little tot up. So in terms of the value of this, I'm thinking that in terms of the models, we're not getting anything more than we would get in a start collecting box. So start collecting box is typically going for about 45 quid if you're buying them from Darksphere or something like that. Then you've got Codex, sorry, the Battle Tome. So at about another 22 quid. I'm talking about prices that you can get things for as opposed to the retail price. So you're talking about 67 quid there. The dice, another maybe 15 quid, so that's 77, 80 quid there. We've got the cards, which are cool. I don't know how much they would normally be. I'd say maybe 8 quid, something like that. His core rules, you get them for nothing. Or they come free with everything. A couple of quid for one of them. Tokens you'd get with your war scrolls and that kind of thing anyway. So yeah, I think it's decent value for money, certainly. Both RRP and what you can pick it up for on via other sort of game shops and that kind of thing, game retailers. So yeah, I think it's good. I don't know how popular these will be going forward. I think they're very, very nice models, and I'm very happy to keep hold of some. So from this box, let's see what we can get into a kill team. So we don't have a Scenari Cathalar. We don't have a Larif Stone Mage. We do have a Steedmaster. We don't have a High Sentinel. We have a High Warden. We don't have a True Stone Seneschal. We do have a Dawn Rider. So let's have a look actually to see if there's anything else that we could build. The Sentinels, so the bow guys, they're out. Venari Oralan Warden. We might be alright there. The Stone Guard with Stone Pick Hammer we haven't got. The Stone Guard with Stone Mallet we don't have either. So we haven't got the parts for much here. Let's have a look back on here. So I don't see any bows and arrows. I don't see any other weapons apart from the spears, obviously, and the sheathed swords. So you can't make a whole lot out of this box for your warband if people have got designs on that. Having said that, you do have a Warden who is fairly powerful. Although look, if we delve back into here, they're pretty squishy. So even all of the higher tier guys, the Cathala got 20 wounds, movement of 5, toughness of just 3, strength just 4, but does 2 and 4 damage with 3 dice. The Alarif Stone Mage has got a ranged weapon of 3 to 7 inches. His ranged weapon, just 2 dice, but dealing out 3 or 6 damage on a strength of 3. Got toughness 4, which is a little better, but just 20 wounds. Now the Steedmaster's got 26 wounds, a toughness of 4 as well. But again, we've not got much going forward. So if I just give a quick breakdown of what we've got strength 4 with 3 dice, doing 2 and 4 damage. Strength 3 with 2 and 3 dice, doing 1 and 4 damage, or 3 and 6. 3 and 6 is pretty good actually. The Steedmaster, strength 4, 3 dice, doing 2 and 4 damage. The High Sentinel, that's the second time I've done that. 3 strength with 3 dice, 2 and 4 damage. So there's no one, we haven't got anything that's dealing out like a large amount of damage. And we're not rolling a particularly large amount of dice either to try and get those victories as well. So the Stone Guard with Stone Pick Hammer does 2 and 5 damage, but still again only rolling 3 dice. So there's no attacks for any of these guys except for the True Stone Seneschal that roll more than 3 dice in attack. So yeah, they are pretty squishy. The abilities are good. I like the abilities. So yeah, I don't know really. I think they will be pretty tough. The Steedmaster and the Dawn Rider have movement of 10, which is okay for a mounted model. But obviously, don't be trying to get up those stairs and stuff. But anyway, I really like the models, so I will forge ahead with a warband. So as usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's good that you tune in to my ramblings. And I will catch you all again very soon. I will be coming out with, I'll do some battle reports for these guys in the next week or so. I'll just get a lick of paint on them first, and I'll see you soon.